How do you set expectations with sellers in a normalizing market? It's Mike Novak from the Novak Real Estate Team, part of Real Brokerage, and today I want to talk about how you can set clear expectations with sellers with the market changes that are occurring, and there's 3 super important steps that I want to cover today with you. First of all, back up just a little bit. Notice that I've replaced the word shifting market with normalizing market. My wife Rachel and I were having this conversation, and she brought up a great point that this is not like some drastic bubble that we're in. Of course, this is not some huge massive pendulum swing that's occurring. This is simply a normalization of the market going on right now in our local market, at least. Homes are sitting for a couple weeks, which is a big change, and in some cases they're still selling super fast, but we're not trying to fearmonger or make it seem like we're in some kind of bubble, because none of the data suggests that we are. There's just a lot of changes happening right now, and so we've really worked on adjusting our word choice to normalization of the market, because our words do matter. So anyways, let's jump into the topic of the day, or of the week rather, for coaching email. The top 3 ways to set expectations with sellers in a normalizing market. The first one is price. When you meet with the sellers today, you need to be going over price with transparency and be completely honest with them. I think it's a huge mistake, and it's a black eye for our industry when agents buy the listing by telling them they're going to get this super high price just to sign it, and then stepping down price reductions as it sits on the market to what they actually thought it could sell for originally. So I think it's your responsibility as the professional to be super upfront, tell them exactly where it could sell for today. And I think you have to price it off of comps. Right now we're looking at comps from like October, November of last year, and a lot of stuff seems to be selling really close to those price points in our market. This is very market to market dependent though, but we're looking at all sorts of different variables. We're just not gonna throw a number out there for our sellers. We're going to make sure that we're pricing it right where the comps support, not pushing the market, because right now pushing the market simply won't be supported in most cases in our local climate that we have going on right now. So that's the first one, is get the price right and be honest about it up front. The second one is that you need to set expectations on what a normal market feels like. Your house may sit for a couple weeks, Mr. Seller, and I'm going to talk to you a couple times a week. I'm going to give you updates on what's happening and then follow through with those updates. What we do is every Monday, if we have active listings that are sitting there, we're giving our clients a ton of detail and data on what's happening with their home. How many times it was shown on Zillow, on Redfin, on Realtor.com, on our websites. All these other things, all the showing feedback is collected in one spot too. So they get this very clean email every Monday morning, and it tells them exactly where their house is positioned right now, what the feedback was, and how many views it had on these different sites. So that's the second one, is make sure that you've set expectations on the home sitting there for a couple weeks possibly, and that you're going to update them weekly with a bunch of data showing them how the market is receiving their home. Remember, you don't determine the price of the home, the market does. Your job is the messenger, and this is part of being the messenger, is making sure that you're communicating. That's a messenger's job, right? Is making sure that you've set the expectations, then communicate on them. So every Monday is a great rhythm for that, once a week, for homes that are sitting there. The third one is that you still got to get out there, and you got to make sure that you're marketing the property hard. Like you can't just put the home on the MLS. You need to put some effort into actually getting it sold. Super, super important. And you need to make sure that you're setting an expectation with your seller and letting them know what you're going to do to get the home actually moving and get interest in the home. So a lot of people, they're just putting the home on the MLS. They're used to doing that over the last few years. Some agents have gotten lazy when it comes to doing this, and you can't afford to do that. And so you need to set expectations with your seller on how you're going to market the property different from other agents, and exactly what you're going to do to make people see their home and help get as many eyeballs on it as possible. If you do those 3 things, you're going to win a lot more often right now than not with sellers. Most sellers will appreciate your honesty, your transparency, your follow-up, and it's really hard to argue with data when you're asking them to do a price reduction. You're showing them there's no traffic around their house, and the reason, of course, is the price. But again, you have to have the marketing so that you can show the effort you're making to sell their home. I hope that's helpful. If you've got questions about any of that, if you want to see our Monday morning email copy, send me an email. I'm happy to give you a copy of that. You can take a look at that and see if it makes sense to implement that in your business as well.